This looks so weird. Welcome back to the living room, everybody. I gotta admit, it's gonna be a tough one today. Not because this is a tough subject, but I'm tired. And I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you can relate, but when you're putting in so much effort for work, it's tiring. Life can get tiring. But you know what? We keep on keeping on. 2-Minute Tuesday. I figured I gotta do this. I gotta bring this back again because I started it and to remain consistent. And it's been helping me out. I've been releasing a video every week. Different times of the week, I get that, but I think I want to try and keep it a little more concise. So, random topic of the day, why do I read for 2 hours a day? Fun fact, I try and actually read for 2 hours every single day. It doesn't always happen to where I can actually do it. I like to wake up very early in the morning, ideally 3 or 4, yeah, call me crazy, 3 or 4 in the morning. But if it doesn't work out, then I like to parse it out throughout the day. I'll typically sometimes do 30 minutes at the beginning of the day before work starts. Then I'll kind of parse it out where at the top of every hour, I'll do 10 minutes. And then for as many hours as I can do that, towards the tail end of the day, I'll try and squeeze in the last hour, 45 minutes, however much time I have left. It doesn't always work, but that's something that I've been able to build up to over the years. It's probably taken me now, I want to say 6 years to get to that point, just practicing strategy after strategy. But the big question is, why even do that at all in the first place? For some of us, including myself in the beginning, reading seemed like such a torturous task. We didn't want to do it in school. So why even read? And here's why. I actually plan what I'm going to read for the year. So around November every year, I sit down and I literally make a list and a timeline of how many pages are in a book that I want to read, how long would it take me on average, and I give myself that time frame. If I get it done earlier, great, move on to the next one, or I might take a break from my schedule and actually pick up something a little more light. I love reading a lot about history, philosophy, how do we get here, why are we doing the things that we're doing. I just want to understand humans a little better so that whenever I engage with somebody, I can tap into all the stuff that I've been reading to be able to identify with a person better, to understand. The real big reason, the first one, that I enjoy reading and I want to read as much as possible is because it absolutely humbles me and reminds me that I am not all there is. And a lot of times, I personally can get pretty cocky and arrogant when it comes to talking about certain subjects or even just day to day, thinking, I know it all, I got it all. Reading has helped me out by reminding me I am not that great. There are people who came from much more humble backgrounds that were able to accomplish far more than I could ever dream. And it's very fun and amazing being able to learn from those people and see what kind of issues were they tackling in their day and age. And is there anything that I can learn from their life and actually apply it to mine to make life better? Because, you know, when all is said and done, we all want to make life a little less painful, a little less treacherous. We want to live a seamless and smooth life. And so one of the ways you can do that is go out and get the experience for yourself. That's the tough way. The other way is learn from experience. And I know a lot of us probably don't have access to hundreds of people that have been before us, or maybe people in our current society that we would love to ask questions. Books are a great, let me back up. Books are a great way to do that, to tap into knowledge, to tap into ideas that could help us out in our current situation, but we would never have been able to dialogue with them in the first place, either because maybe we just don't have easy access to them if they're still living, or they've been dead for a very long time. It also just helps to avoid mistakes. Like I said, you can go off and live life and learn experiences. So by the time you're 60 years old, 70, heck, even 80, I talked to a lot of 80-year-olds who are just reading because they want to constantly keep learning how to live life better. That's pretty humbling. And so 28, I definitely want to be able to soak up everything that I possibly can. I'm not sure how many people are going to relate to this next one, but reading definitely has taught me things that I never learned in high school, college, or elementary school, just school in general. I was not really the biggest school person. I could not take tests. I was horrible at it. You put me in a classroom with silence and there's 30 other kids and I start to see them all finish the exam much quicker than I do. It stresses me out. I cannot take exams to save my life. And obviously exams are the pinnacle of all these semesters of being in a class. You're learning to take a test, to pass, to move on to the next level. I could never learn like that. In fact, I disregarded pretty much everything. Actually, fun fact, the only thing I learned in college was I took this one course on how to professionally sign your name. Absolutely fun class. It's like something called like business etiquette or something like that. That's the only class I can remember, but it was by far my favorite because signatures are important. I just never picked up a whole lot in school. And the funny thing is, now, whenever I get to construct my own timeline of what I want to read in my own curriculum, I find myself going back to a lot of those books that were actually mandated to be read for these tests to pass these classes. And I remember thinking back then, I hated these books. I didn't pick anything of value out of them. But like, for example, the Iliad and the Odyssey. At the time, when we were reading in literature class, I think it might have been like 9th grade or I was a sophomore in high school. I don't remember a single thing about that. I just went through it earlier this year and it was probably one of the best reads I've ever had. It was awesome. It had so much adventure. It had so much heroicism. It had all this stuff that pretty much makes a really good action sequence. So for 2 Minute Tuesday, I figured, I just passed that along. One of the saddest things in life. The fact that I can't just put a book underneath my pillow and soak up the information. That would be amazing. So that was it. Happy Tuesday, y'all. We will see you guys in the next video.